Are you worried about today's dire financial situation?
Put simply, I would argue the Biden economic plan is working.
The storms on Wall Street continue today after regulators seized the assets of Silicon Valley Bank, marking the largest bank failure since the 2008 financial crisis.
Do you worry you'll have enough to pay your mortgage, pay your children's college tuition, enough to retire?
I believe our banking system remains strong.
Regional banks in focus once again today as the market digests the fallout of the First Republic failure.
You have questions, we have answers. It's the Gold Standard with Ken Russo and Jennifer Horn.
Thanks for joining us on the Gold Standard Radio Show with Ken Russo and Jennifer Horn. We are happy to be back with you for another week, and we are going back to basics once again this week about protecting all of that money you work hard for. We're going to talk to you about gold and precious metals in just a few.
Before it vanishes.
Oh,
Voila.
before it goes away.
What do they say? Voila.
Voila.
Yes.
It's going to be like, I mean, just seriously, it'll be gone because the government loves to spend your money.
The narrative in the media, they say everything is fine. Don't worry about it. Everything is financially okay.
And we trust them, don't we? We just dial right in and we trust them. And of course, how could we not? When we have President Joe Biden, I call him Chairman Joe.
Ice Cream Joe.
Ice Cream Joe, Sleepy Joe, whatever your desired name.
Embarrassing Joe.
Embarrassing Joe. He says he's tired of something. Not smart people, smart guys.
Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys.
What'd you say, Joe?
Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys. Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys.
I think he's sick and tired of smart
Well,
guys.
I'm sick and tired of smart guys.
Clearly, because if you look at his administration, there aren't a lot of smart ones running around, Ken.
No. Jen, watch your tongue.
I love that. He always gives us a gem. Like every week, there's at least one that we can, if you don't laugh, you cry.
You know what? I would sacrifice the gems.
You would?
For somebody that, had the best interests of the United States of America and their people in mind. How about that?
I would actually agree.
Yeah, I'll go for that as our leader, commander-in-chief.
I'd even give up a little gold for someone in charge
Well,
that
absolutely
knows how to run things. So let's start with how we got into the situation that we're in. Of course, it all started back in 1971.
Mm-hmm.
And I love, Ken, you're pretty good. You can do some imitations, some impersonations.
I think you're just being nice. Jim.
I'm not. I've heard Mitch McConnell. You want to give us a little of that?
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Ask me a question.
It comes from right here in
Ask
the waddle.
Ask me a question about gold or money. Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Minority Leader, Senator McConnell, do you what's your favorite gold coin? Is it true that your wife is on the line with the Chinese Communist Party? That's very good. It comes from the waddle.
It does, yeah. I mean, what he's saying, who knows? But, I mean, it's been working for so long. He's one of those career politicians, right? And these are the guys that are pulling the strings, Jen. These are the guys that when something happens really bad, they're going to be the ones making the decisions. Makes me want to run down to the bank, take some of my money out of the system, call my broker up at Vanguard or State Street or BlackRock and say, you want to know what? I think I'm going to take care of myself and my family, and I'm going to pull some money out of your system because you guys are a disgrace.
You don't trust Mitch McConnell with your money?
I don't, no.
All right, so back to where it all started. 1971, President Richard Nixon decides that no longer the dollar doesn't need to be backed by gold.
Well, we were running out of gold, remember? And the government always came to the conclusion, well, we need to stimulate stuff. We need to stimulate the economy. And what could we do to do that? Well, we can print money out of thin air. But this gold situation where the dollars are convertible to gold and all that, that's a problem because we don't have enough gold. And these other countries are starting to figure that out. So, we can let's go off the gold standard and, let's no longer allow the convertibility of gold into, the dollar into gold and fiat money, and let's just spend and print and spend. And that's where we're today,
Are you a crook?
No. No.
I am not.
I'm not a crook.
Thank you. I just needed that.
But then they had Watergate.
Yeah.
Get Tricky Dick out of there, right? And
the fun began.
Well, that was another way to kind of false flag, to kind of get people to forget, well, we just took you off the gold standard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's deflect that with Watergate, and let's start that. So, nothing's changed. The big change, though, is that the numbers have gotten really big now.
Right.
So the question is are we going to be able to just kind of crawl out of this hole? No, because it's a huge hole. The whole world is in debt. We're in debt up to our gills. The interest rate payment on our debt is close to $1 trillion. They said that the interest on our debt now is more than what we pay for military expenditures. So how could you distance yourself from the horrible, irresponsible, corrupt job that our central bankers and politicians have performed over the last few decades and kind of run for cover and protect yourself and your money? And one of the easiest ways to kind of think about that is owning gold, distancing yourself from the problems that the banking system has, distance yourself from the bubble that they call a stock market and a bond market, which is just fake and being supported by all this money creation. So how could you hold on to something real, Jen? Because what I would tell you is all of this fake, fraudulent printed money, the results are going to be very real.
And ask yourself, if the system is failing, why wouldn't you choose to take at least a portion of your money out of a system that doesn't seem to be going in your direction? Why not protect yourself by removing yourself? And you can do that with
That's why. Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, because then, we have to make rational decisions.
Yeah.
But when did we make rational decisions? I can't remember since I've been born.
No,
54
unfortunately,
years ago.
we cannot trust the government to spend our money, to use our money responsibly. We have to take that power back, put it into the hands of ourselves and our family so that there's something that we have in case that system fails or when it fails. Here's what you need to do right now, and we'll be giving the number out throughout the show. You need to call Midas Gold Group. They have offices in Phoenix, Arizona, offices in Thousand Oaks, California. You can go in and see them face to face, which I love about the folks over at Midas.
No mask.
No mask. That's right. Freedom lovers.
Absolutely.
America first. Patriots.
You don't have to have 7 vac shots to come see us.
That's right. Veteran owned. They do like a glowing person. So that's good. 855-322-4653 is the number to call anytime. 855-322-GOLD. 855-322-GOLD. 855-322. It works out to 4653. Or you can always check out the website, MidasGoldGroup.com. That's MidasGoldGroup.com.
Yeah, all the information on there is free, and that starts a conversation. It starts, the requests. You can go on there and fill out a form. There's no obligation to do anything, but I think, Jen, right now, every single American should strongly be considering how they can distance themselves from what's going on. It's a system that could fail at any time. It's that dangerous. It's that leveraged. There's that many derivatives that are out there. And the banking system, which has benefited from all of this, they've allowed this to happen. Do people realize, how much clearer could I put it than this? That the second, third, and fourth largest bank failures in the United States history happened 6 months ago.
I know, and nobody talks about it.
Does anybody still care? Did the problems just go away?
Well, it's because you've got the politicians and the mainstream media. They just push it away. They sweep it under the rug. And so then we all go along thinking that we put our money into the bank for safety. We don't put the money into the bank for our health. We put the money in the bank so that it's not something that we are responsible for at that moment. But if the bank can't be trusted, if the bank is not going to be there, if the bank is not viable, you better make a plan to hold some of that at home in the privacy of your own home where you can actually get a hold of it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're talking about. How could you hedge your bets and lower your risk from all of this debt creation and all of this fake money? And it's almost a preparation for the next monetary system that we will eventually experience.
And worst case scenario, you don't have to tap into that safe at home, but you have it. And if, God forbid, things get real and you need to really have that money available where you even have to use it for transactions and things, this is really important stuff.
Gold's a lifeboat, Jen. It's a lifeboat for your money. It's always been that way. It's just that the banking system and the advisors have no real incentive to talk about real tangible assets. They want to talk about paper because paper can continue to generate fees. They can continue to trade paper back and forth. And quite frankly, if the system goes down or when it goes down, what are we going to have left?
Yeah.
And what's our money going to be worth? That's why I would say it's good to have some of this real stuff
that you can chew.
Exactly.
It's not a snack, but you can chew on it.
You know,
That's
and for
true.
people that want to watch us, because, you know,
Why wouldn't you?
it is entertaining.
Sure.
You can go on YouTube. We have a channel set up. Just search Midas Gold Group, or you can just call the office and say, hey, send me the links.
And you got it. All
That's
you have
it.
to do. And by the way, 855-322-4653 for Midas Gold Group. You want to watch the show, go to YouTube, search out Midas Gold Group, or call for the links, 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD. And speaking of GOLD, which we do a lot, you like to bring something fun into the studio for us to look at. And this deserves a little time, because you said when you sat down,
Yes.
you said, Jen, this was what you got when you went to the bank and you handed over a $20 bill.
Yeah, let's say it was 1928.
All right.
And let's say you brought a $20 bill to the bank, and you'd say, I'd like to convert this into a $20 coin of gold. They would actually give you this coin, which is called a $20 Saint-Gaudens.
And I looked at it and I said, it's beautiful.
It's referred to as the most beautiful coin ever minted. The gentleman who designed the coin, his last name was Saint-Gaudens. It was the $20 gold piece from 1907 to 1933. And quite frankly, not only are you investing in the gold, you're also investing in something that they can't make any of these anymore. It's a part of history. It was a $20 gold piece at one time, and now it's about a $2,400 gold piece.
I want you to hear this, because people say, well, how can you make any money in gold and blah, blah, blah. And so I said, Ken, I bet that's not worth $20 anymore. How much is that worth?
This is now a $2,400 gold coin, and in my opinion, 5 years from now, it would be a $5,000 or a $10,000 gold coin.
You get the safety, you get the security of gold, but it's also one of those investments that is a safe one. It might be slow and steady, and again, these are just our opinions.
You know what's a better way to look at it, Jen, too?
Yeah.
The $20 bill. Let's say you held on to that.
What's
what
that
would that
worth?
be worth?
Maybe a
3 or
Subway
4
sandwich?
cents?
Right.
Not even 3 or 4 cents.
It's unbelievable. 855-322-4653. That's the number for Midas Gold Group. Give them a call. Do not wait. You know, a lot of people say, well, wait until the banks start to collapse again, or until that market gets even more unsteady, or until that dollar gets even more worthless. Don't wait for that. 855. Exactly. Why risk it? 855-322-GOLD. 855-322-GOLD. 855-322-4653 for Midas Gold Group, or always at MidasGoldGroup.com. We have a lot more up ahead. It's a Gold Standard Radio Show with Ken Russo and Jennifer Horn.
Dr. Gorka here. You're listening to The Gold Standard with your hosts, Ken Russo from veteran-owned Midas Gold Group and Jennifer Horn. Owning private money in the form of physical gold and silver is perhaps more important than ever to your long-term financial security. As U.S. banks fail, the Biden administration sends hundreds of billions abroad while depleting our strategic oil reserves. However, the biggest financial threat may be coming from within: central bank digital currency. The patents have been filed and the big banks have released plans for implementation. Midas Gold Group sees tyrannical implications, the end of cash, the end of financial privacy, big government able to see your every purchase. Could there be ties to social credit? Hear more commentary on the political and economic issues that affect your financial security right here on the Gold Standard. You can create your own Gold Standard with a call to Midas Gold Group, 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653, MidasGoldGroup.com.
Welcome back to the Gold Standard Radio Show. Ken Russo and Jennifer Horn. We always have so much fun together, and we always love having you with us. And there's so much more to discuss, Ken. Of course, we know about bank failures. We know about devalued dollars. We know about all these things.
Oh,
but there's
you're just
other
making this
stuff
up.
that's going on out there, right?
You're just making it
I know, right?
Come on.
That's what I do. No fake news here.
And are we making it up? No. I mean, there's agendas right now here in our country are more important than our citizens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the question for us that we talk about is, I mean, who's going to pay for all of this?
And I want you to really understand this, because, yes, there are real things happening with the economy that we have to be aware of, that people are watching out for. But you know that all those big corporations, those big banks, those big governments have these agenda items that come well before protecting your wealth.
Yeah, I mean, this is all on top of, we all know that the banks are fragile, okay? We all know that the stock market and the bond market's in a bubble. Not
Right.
that we're giving financial advice, but it's in a bubble, okay? Not to mention that our economy is a lot worse than people are saying, as these numbers that they come out with are totally fake. And they end up being revised months after.
Yeah.
How foolish and just ridiculous. Outrageous. But look at these agendas. ESG, climate change, vaccine mandates, carbon-free green energy initiatives, diversity, defunding the police, Ukraine. Who's going to pay for all of this?
All of that stuff is coming before the concern over your wealth, your well-being, your safety. And the answer to your question is, we're ultimately going to pay for this, right?
Yeah. And they want to know everything that we're going to do with our money. And obviously, that's the kind of system that we're headed towards. The problems, let's face it, folks, are not in some cave over in the Middle East. The problems are in Washington, D.C. And the policies and the deficit spending and the just sheer ignorance of being realistic on what exactly is going on and where we're headed. And we're talking about other countries now that are seeing this. And we're talking about these countries that are getting together. And we're talking about nuclear powers. We're talking about oil producers. We're talking about gold and silver producers. We're talking about countries that are actually backed by stuff.
Right.
That are saying, hey, you want to know what? Maybe we don't need the United States as much as we did.
They're usurping us, right?
They
They're
used
just going
us.
around us.
They've had the privilege the last 40, 50 years. You want to know what? Now it's our time. And everybody has a cycle. Every currency has a cycle. And if somebody said to me, is the United States at the beginning or the end of their superpower reign, I would probably say they're going in the wrong direction, and we're probably a lot closer to the end than we are to the beginning.
And I know you don't say that lightly because
No.
you are a patriotic guy. The people at Midas Gold Group are all America First patriots. We want to win. We want to be that superpower, but we're being run into the ground.
We want the best people of this country to do the best for the best people of the world, which are the citizens of the United States of America, the greatest country to live in, to fight for, anything, any way you want to put it. And financially, it's not being run that way.
Yeah.
Politically, it's not being run that way. And ultimately, the banking system, which has been allowed to basically perform criminal activity for how long, is not acting that way either. We don't have even the best banking system in the world anymore either. So the question is what could happen? And quite frankly, that goes back to, well, the system is very, very shaky. The financial markets right now are being falsely supported by fake money. This could all end very badly. Maybe we're wrong. I don't know. Maybe we're just living a bubble for the next 40 years. They'll just print 100 or 200 trillion more dollars and we'll just have a lower dollar, but everything will be okay.
Seems unlikely.
Why take that risk? You can do something about your situation. You don't have to comply. You can pull some money out of the bank. You can pull some money out of the markets. You can diversify your IRA. Maybe you have an old 401k that you may say, hey, that would be better off in gold and in silver. Hold something tangible. People are exiting the banking system. People realize what's going on. In the top 25 biggest banks in the last year, people have pulled out almost $1 trillion.
That's incredible.
The central banks of the world are buying gold, but they're pushing paper on their citizens. They're not stupid. I mean, the central bankers, they might be reckless, but they know fiat money is nonsense. They're preparing to be able to survive and enter the next financial system. So my question is, why aren't you?
Yeah, and this is the greatest question. Why aren't you? And many of us, we just get complacent. We get overrun. The kids have to go to school. You've got to go to work.
Well, then you may not have enough money to pay for all of that stuff.
Exactly right. You got to think about not even the long game. It may actually be the short game. Take care of yourself. Protect your family. Protect your loved ones. Protect all of that money you've busted your rear end for. Don't just let it go away. Now is the time. If you've been thinking, I'll get to it, I'll call them, make it a priority this week. Call Midas Gold Group, 855-322-4653, 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653. And what I love is that, Ken, when you call Midas Gold Group, you're not calling order takers. You're not calling a call center. You're actually talking to people who probably share the same ideology that you do and are looking to achieve the same goals that you want for you and your family. 855-322-4653 or 855-322-GOLD. When someone calls, what are some of the first questions? What should they have with them prepared for making that first phone call?
Well, I mean, I would obviously ask them, well, what are you looking for gold to do for you? And see what they say. You know, some people will say, well, I'm kind of nervous about the banks. I know that we're in another bubble. I lost a lot of money back in 2008 or 2000. I don't want to see that happen again. I'm really disappointed with the political leadership of our country, and I see no way out of this. That's not going to end badly for my money. I want something that's going to be there for my kids or my grandkids. I want something to show that I've saved for the last 30 or 40 years, and I tried to be a good steward of my money. Well, then I would say, okay, well, why don't you come on in, or we can talk privately on the phone. You know, what are you working with? You know, where's your money tied up? What are you concerned about? And we'll come up with a plan. So, you know, everybody's a little different, but we're very privileged to talk to people. We feel that way. We're very proud to do so. We work hard for our clients. And we feel that every single person at this point should have a strong relationship with the gold and silver broker, because who knows where we're headed.
That's right.
You know, it could be heading in a very bad direction. You know, this could be something over the next 20 or 30 years that's very, very relevant, because, folks, the problems are not going away. We would encourage people to be your own bank.
Yeah.
Be your own vault. Don't comply. You don't have to rely on the system doing what's right for you, because, I mean, Jen, let's face it, who's going to be left holding the bag after all these yahoos? After they're all said and done. I heard Nancy wants to come back.
She's running again. That's right.
That's good. You know, why not? So,
yeah,
why
not? Exactly. So this is the thing. You need to make the phone call today is what we're talking about. You have to take the step to protect yourself, protect that money that you've worked hard to earn and to save. 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-4653. And one aspect of this is maybe you have a gold dealer that you don't like. Maybe you're working with someone that isn't fitting the bill for you. You can call Midas Gold Group and just have the conversation. See if you like what they're proposing for you better, because I guarantee you every single person at Midas Gold Group, they're literally as good as gold. And I mean that because I know most of you. 855-322-4653.
Yeah, we try, Jen. And also, we just started a new podcast. It's called The Boomerang, which is going to be cool. Actually, I think they interviewed Dr. Gorka today.
Awesome. Who's doing that?
A couple guys from the office, Matt Geiger and Andrew Wenker.
Fun.
Yeah, and that'd be something for people if they want to call in and get the links. We can send that to them too. But pretty cool, but just trying to stay on top of things for our clients and have a place like a forum where people of like mind could feel comfortable talking to other people of like-minded ideas.
Yeah.
It's important. You know, we don't judge big or small. Everybody to us is the same. But it's really important, folks. What's going to happen is definitely on its way. It's inevitable. And we would really urge people to understand that it's those decisions now are going to make a difference 10, 20 years from now.
Yep.
Are you or are you not still going to be financially viable, no matter what the government or the banking system does?
This is your life raft, as you said before.
It is. And I would say for the people who own gold and silver, they're giving themselves a much better chance to survive this financially over the next 10 or 20 years, regardless of what happens, versus those who are speculating and have all of their money tied to a sick system.
Diversify, hedge your bets, take care of your family, avoid the government, privacy, and of course, all of that control back in your hands. 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-4653. That's number to call for Midas Gold Group, 855-322-4653, 855-322-GOLD, or MidasGoldGroup.com. That's MidasGoldGroup.com, and always fun to sit with you, Ken.
Yes.
Thank you all for joining us.
How did you get so smart?
How did you get so smart from you?
Jeez, and she's only 29.
That's right. Thank you. Give or take a day. It's the Gold Standard Radio Show with Ken Russo and Jennifer Horn.